Good morning, my dear students. So, I welcome you all for today's computer class. And today I'm going to start a new chapter, that is chapter 3, which deals with methods in Java. So, methods is also called as functions. Okay, so here we'll be dealing mostly about the methods that we usually use during the Java program time. So, first of all, what is a method? So, a method is a group of statements that is executed when it is called from some point of the program. So, these are formed by the grouping of a statement, and the method has to be executed when it is called from one point, okay, or from one portion of the program. Or we can define the same method with another way also. So during exam time, when it comes, you can write this definition. Okay, the second definition for the method: a method is a collection of statements that are grouped together to perform a task. So you can select any one of the definition from these two, and you can write when it comes during the exam time. So here in Java programming, methods are also called as functions. So in Java, functions are called methods. That means we can call with any of the name. Whenever we are dealing there in the Java programming, we can call methods with other name also, which is functions. So in Java, functions are called methods. That means functions and methods, these two are same there in the Java programming. Now, information can be passed to the methods through parameters. That means whenever we are dealing with the methods there in a Java programming, so in order to know about the method, what has to be passed is information has to be passed to the method through what? Through parameters. Parameters means through arguments or the values that will be present out there in the method portion. Now, on the basis of definition, methods can be of two types. So on the basis of method definition or defining a method, we can classify these into two different types, which are: number one, user defined methods. Okay, these methods which is created by user and maintained by user. That means the first kind of method is called as user defined methods, and these are the methods which are created by a user or a programmer who deals there in a program. All right, so, or who deals with the program. So methods will be created by a user and also will be maintained by the user itself. All right, and the second kind of method is called as built-in methods, or we can call with another name, that is library functions. So these built-in methods are those methods that are built into the compiler in the form of libraries. That means this method, the second kind of method which is built-in method, this will be present there in the compiler itself. Alright, and this will be stored in the form of libraries. That is why it is also called with another name, that is library functions. And some of the examples of the second kind of functions are sqrt, sqrt, and pow. So these are the math functions that we have learned in previous chapter, if you remember. So these sqrt, pow, and there are some more math functions and the character function that we have learned, isn't it? So those are the examples of the second kind of method, which is built-in method or library functions. Now, the point that you have to remember from this particular portion is you cannot write functions or methods without a class in Java. That means without defining a class, we cannot write method there in a Java programming. So in order to mention the method there in a programming, the first thing that you all have to remember, is that we have to create a class, and inside the class only the method can be written. So in Java, a class is the basis of all computation. Methods live within a class. So as I told you all, that method will be inside a class. So methods live within a class, and hence have to be written inside the class. So that is the reason why we have to write method inside a class. Okay, so these methods live inside a class means the programming will be running with the help of class, and whatever will be written as a statement, that will be inside class only. So method also will be inside class. So that is why the particular line here says that methods live within a class, means method also will be written inside a class only. So that is why it has to be written inside a class only. Okay, now let us move to the another important point, that is types of methods or functions. So here don't get confused with the method definition. Okay, this is method definition. So here method definition has been classified into two different types: user defined method and built-in method. But here types of method or functions topic has been mentioned. So these two are different. All right, so there are two different types of methods or functions in Java. The first one is called as instance method or functions, and second one is called as class method or functions. So instance method means these are non-static methods that belong to the object instances, hence they have to be invoked, means they have to be inserted using the object only. So in previous class we have learned about creating an object with the help of a operator new. Alright, so if you remember, I had taught you one example for the method creation: create an object mp3 for the class music. So that portion you have to revise in order to know about object creation. Alright, so instance method means these are the non-static methods and that belong to the object instances. This instance method belong to the object instances, and whenever we are inserting these methods, we have to create or we have to invoke using the object. We have to create an object, then only we have to insert the method. Alright, and the second kind of method is called as class method. These are static methods. So the class methods are considered as the static methods that belong to the class. So this method belongs to class and they can be invoked, inserted directly using the name of the method or function and the parameters required. So we can easily insert this method by using the method name and the parameters whatever are present there inside the parameter list. They are in the same line where we define the method statement. Okay, now why do we need method there in a Java programming? So next topic that I am going to explain is about need of methods. So we need methods to reduce the complexity. So in order to make the programming easier, we write this method under a class. Now second need is code reusability. That means we can use the same method again and again there inside a same class. Okay, or we can create more number of methods there inside a same class. Okay, so that is the second need of a method there in the Java programming or there inside a class. Third one is reduces length. So creating a method or creating a method statement there inside a class will help to reduce the length. Okay, length will be reduced with the help of method. That is why we need method inside a class. And the last need is hides the complexity. So it also helps in hiding the unwanted things and displaying the useful things there in the Java programming part. So it hides the complexity. That means here the method also will be using the concept that is data abstraction, where the unwanted things will be hidden at the background and the useful things will be displayed there in the screen. Okay, there in the programming portion. So these are the four important needs. Okay, why to use or why to write the method there in the class or inside the class or there in the Java programming. Now mechanism of method. The next thing that you have to remember from this particular portion is mechanism. So in Java a class can have as many methods as required. So as I told you, inside a single class, there in a Java programming, inside a single class, we can define more than one method. But method can be called any number of times from another part of the program, but non-static methods must be called using an object reference and a dot operator. So here in this particular portion I have taught you about, I have explained about the two different types of method. One is called as non-static method or instance method, second is class method, or it is also called as static method. So whenever we are writing a programming inside a class, we can create more than one method, and the method can be called any number of times from any part of the same program. But when we write the non-static method, so at that particular situation where we use non-static methods, there in that particular situation we have to create an object, or sometimes we can use the operator, that is or dot operator. That is how we can use the non-static method there in a Java programming. Remember this thing. So if we are using non-static method, or non-static method is also called as instance method. So if we are using instance method, so during that time we have to create an object, or we can use the dot operator, and then only the object will be invoked, or the method will be invoked there in a class or inside a programming. So class always begins with main method. So we have completed with some of the basic programmings there in the previous chapters, isn't it? So there we have learned how to write a basic program. Now there also, if you turn the pages of your computer application coffee, and if you check, you can find the main method written there inside a class. So there in a programming, class always begins with main method. Remember this one. So main method, like the statement public static void main throws IO exception, or public static void main only, public static void main throws args, or public static void main args. So these are the different statements, which has to be written just below the class, after defining a class, and those statements are considered as the main method. So always remember, this is the thing that you have to remember every time whenever you are writing the Java programming. So class always begins with main method. So after defining a class, the class begins with the main method part. Now the next thing that you have to remember, that I am going to explain, is about defining a method. Now here I have written some points, important points, which is very much important to understand whenever we are dealing with the method. These are the things that we have to remember, and according to this one only we can write the method or the prototype. So defining a method, the points are mentioned out here. The first point is, a method must be defined before it is used. So before using only, we have to define a method anywhere in the program. So we can use methods inside a class, and we have to define before using in any of the place inside a programming. That is the first point that you have to remember. Second point is, a method consists of two parts. The first part is called as the header or a prototype, and the second part is called as the body. So these are the two parts of a method. Now point number 3, the header is divided into return type, method name, and the parameter list. So there in the header part, the first part of a method, we can find the portion divided into 3 parts, which are return type, method name, and parameter list. So there in the header portion we can find these 3 things written: return type, method name, and parameter list. Next point, the body is the block of statements that are executed when the method is called. That means the second part is called as body, and this will be written inside a curly braces, which forms a block of statements. And that are executed when the method is called. So this body will be executed. Okay, this block of statements will be executed when the method will be called. Now let us see the syntax or the format for defining a method there in a programming. What are the things that we have to write there in the two different parts of a method. So as I told you, the method is divided into two parts. The first is called as header or the prototype, and the second part is the body. So in header part also, the header part is divided into three important parts like SS specifier, return type, and function name, and parameters also will be present, parameter list will be present. So these are the things that will be present there in the header part of a method. And the second part will be given inside the curly braces, which is called as body of the method. So inside the curly braces, whatever is mentioned, okay, there in the method part, that is considered as the body of the method. Now I'd like to explain the same method format with the help of two examples. Okay, the first example is public void disp message, bracket open close, and the statement is written inside the curly braces. So public is considered as SS specifier, void is the return type, and method name is disp message here for this example, and parameter list. This is the parameter list where in this particular example parameters are not present. Okay, that is why here it is written no parameters. Now whatever is given inside the curly braces, this will be the second part for the method. So body, this is called as body of the method. So system.out.println welcome to function is considered as the body of the method. Now the second example, let us look at the second example. Now private, the second kind of SS specifier, private is used, return type here is int. If you check the second example, the return type used here is void. Okay, so in second example the return type used is int, and find cube is the name of a method or a function, and inside the bracket int x is given. So whatever is given here inside the bracket, this is considered as the parameter list, and here inside the curly braces return x into x into x is written, right? So this portion is called as body of the method. So this is how you have to write the method there in the programming. Whenever you are writing the method, this is how you have to write. Okay, and this is how you have to remember to write different parts, okay, there in the programming. Whenever we are writing a Java programming, you have to remember each and everything whatever is defined out here. Okay, whatever is given out here, in the similar way we have to write a method and its different parts there in the programming. Now in order to write this one, the method, or whenever we are dealing with the Java programming, we should remember some rules and regulations that we have to follow for writing the programming. So in the similar manner, whenever we are writing the method there in the Java programming, here for the method also we have to follow some basic rules. So the next topic will be basic rules for method name. So these are the rules that you have to remember whenever we are dealing with this method there in a programming. Okay, the first rule that you have to remember is it should be any legal identifier, not a keyword. That means method has to be an identifier, not a keyword. So if you turn the page and if you check the previous chapters, the definition has been mentioned for the identifier and keyword. So identifier and keyword, these are two different things. Okay, it has got different meanings there in the programming. So whenever we are defining the method name, it has to be identifier, not a keyword. This is the first rule that you have to remember. The second thing that you have to remember is it should be meaningful. The method name that you define there in the programming portion has to be meaningful. And next rule you have to remember is its first character should be in lowercase. So whenever you are writing the method name, as I have mentioned out here in this particular example, so here also the method name is starting with small letter or the lowercase. So remember that the first character of the method name should start with the lowercase. So that is the third rule. Fourth is a method name should be a verb in lowercase, example add print. So this is the fourth rule. Okay, so whenever we are defining a method name, so method name should be a verb and it should be in lowercase or small letter, like the example that is given out here, add or print. All right, and the last rule that you have to remember is whenever we are using the multi-word method name, that time the first letter of the second has to be in uppercase and the following word should be in uppercase. That means the first letter, okay, whenever we are using the multi-word names for the method, the character has to be small letter and the second word should start with the uppercase. This is how we have to write whenever we are dealing with the multi-word names for the method portion. Okay, so read info. So according to this third rule, the method first character should be in lowercase, but here two word has been used. Okay, multi-word has been used for the method, for naming the method. That is why the first character will remain as it is, the lowercase, and the first character of the second word will start with the uppercase or the capital letter. So this is how you have to define whenever we are using multi-word names for the method portion. Okay, these are the two examples that I have shown. So my dear students, in today's class I have explained about some of the important things, okay, the definitions of method and need of methods. So some of the important things I have discussed in today's class. So kindly revise the thing whenever you are watching this video for the third chapter. Okay, so kindly refer the textbook and try to understand the thing properly. So I'll be uploading some important topics in upcoming classes. So till then, dedicate your time to studies and stay safe. Thank you.